Results from the ONS infection survey, published this morning, estimate that the number of people who've tested positive for coronavirus in England fell from 152,000 between the 27th of April and the 10th of May to 33,000 between the 25th of May and the 7th of June. This is encouraging progress and suggests that around 1 in 1,700 people in the community had coronavirus during the latest period of the survey. SAGE has also confirmed today that their estimate of the R rate for the UK is unchanged on last week at 0.7 to 0.9. We want to keep the R rate number below 1, and R, of course, is the average number of additional people infected by each infected person. The second slide shows the confirmed cases with the test. 6,434,713 tests for coronavirus have now been carried out or posted out in the UK. This includes 193,253 tests carried out or posted out yesterday. 292,950 people have tested positive, an increase of 1,541 cases since yesterday. The graph shows a steadily falling number of identified cases on a 7-day rolling average, despite the increase in testing. The third slide shows the latest data from hospitals. 535 people were admitted to hospital with coronavirus in England, Wales and Northern Ireland on the 9th of June, down from 722 a week earlier and down from a peak of 3,432 on the 1st of April. 392 coronavirus patients are currently in mechanical ventilation beds in the UK, down from 571 a week ago and down from a peak of 3,301 on the 12th of April. The fourth slide shows what is happening in hospitals across the country. There are now 5,607 people in hospital with coronavirus in the UK, down 20% from 7,036 a week ago and down from a peak of 20,697 on the 12th of April. As the graphs show, while there is some variation, most nations and regions in the UK are broadly following a similar pattern. The fifth slide shows the daily figures for those who've sadly lost their lives after testing positive for coronavirus. Across all settings, the total number of deaths now stands at 41,481. That's an increase of 202 fatalities since yesterday. When measured by a 7-day rolling average, the daily number of deaths currently stands at 174, down from a peak of 943 on the 14th of April. Although the number of deaths is now firmly down, our deepest sympathies go out to all those who've lost loved ones. Transport is instrumental to our recovery, to connect people with jobs, to help level up Britain, and even to make us a healthier and more active nation. But as people start to travel, transport also presents one of our biggest challenges: how we protect passengers, prevent the spread of virus, even as we become more mobile. Transport use may be the first occasion since the onset of COVID that we've shared confined spaces with others. So it's critical that we all take a vigilant and cautious approach over the next few weeks. I'm just going to say this: if you can work from home, you should continue to do so. If you cannot work from home, you should try to avoid public transport. If you must use public transport, you should travel at quieter times of day. And if you are an employer, you should do everything in your power to prevent staff from travelling unless it's absolutely vital, and please do allow staff to travel at quieter times. Now, from Monday, it becomes mandatory in England to wear a face covering on public transport. That includes trains, buses, trams, ferries and planes. A face covering does not mean a surgical mask. Face coverings can be made at home, and you can find guidance to do so on gov.uk. As we move to recovery, it's more important than ever to protect each other, preventing those showing no symptoms from infecting others. I know there's huge public support for compulsory face coverings. They show respect for our fellow travellers. But for clarity, transport operators will be able to refuse permission to travel where someone isn't using a face covering. And this weekend, I'm taking powers through the Public Health Act, leading to fines for non-compliance too. We'll take a gentle approach to enforcement during the first couple of days. And help will be at hand. In addition to the British Transport Police, the staff from Network Rail, from TfL, Transport for London, and transport operators, in the coming weeks will also deploy journey makers to assist and remind commuters of the need to wear face coverings. Plus, the Safer Transport campaign will provide plenty of reminders at bus stops and rail stations and on social media. Remembering your face covering should be the same as picking up your phone, your wallet, or your purse whenever you're leaving the house. Please read the guidance, ensure you have a face covering, and protect your fellow commuters. This crisis has tested our nation, yet through adversity comes possibility, a greener transport future within our grasp. For example, through the £2 billion investment in the cycling and walking programme. The challenge, though, is to make transport, currently our biggest emitter of greenhouse gases, part of the solution, not of the problem. If you take the aviation sector, for example, which has had an impossible few months. Yet despite these obvious challenges, there's a real determination within the industry to have a greener restart. So we're bringing together leaders from aviation, environmental groups and government to form the Jet Zero Council. This group will be charged with making net zero emissions possible for future flights. Our goal within a generation will be to demonstrate flight across the Atlantic without harming the environment. And today, we're backing a company called Velocis, who are building a plant for aviation biofuels in Lincolnshire. I'm also excited about a Cambridge University and Whittle Labs project to accelerate technologies for zero carbon flight. The shared experience of fighting coronavirus has changed us in many different ways. Although it's forced us apart, it's also brought us together. Although it's tested us, it's also shown us at our very best. And although it's made us reflect on the past, it's focused us on those plans for the future. But now, as we become more mobile, we must not forget this insidious virus is still a threat. That not only means avoiding public transport if you can, it also means, from Monday, wearing a face covering on public transport, avoiding gatherings of more than 6 people, including to protest. I understand that people want to show their passion for issues that they care deeply about, and we must never be complacent about stamping out racism and discrimination in this country. But please, for the sake of your health and that of your friends and families, don't attend mass gatherings. We've come a long way. As we move towards recovery, let's protect lives as well as livelihoods.